And then also, whenever we set up a new client, you get the knowledge base where you can add like let's say you're different, like you do things differently when it comes to insurance or a number of different things, you can actually update that. And that's what it refers to whenever it's having a conversation.
Yeah, if you have a modality, if you do different techniques, that kind of, do you accept insurance, not accept insurance? Those things can be individualized. So basically, the conversation is pretty much the same as your receptionist would be. If I'm assuming that correctly, like fairly close now.
Yeah, it can be 100% on track. So what your years of experience and trial and error have shown us, like you guys have a really good system and scripts down that you use. So we're able to get the AI to do that exactly. Because what I've
Yep.
noticed is sometimes what happens is people come into the system and they're asking certain things, and sometimes we want to answer them right then and there. So we text back like a huge block of text because we want to answer their questions. But in order to get the conversation moving, that's not necessarily the best thing. So then people drop off there. So
Yep.
with the conversational AI, we can get it to have the same conversation exactly like we want over and over again.
Yep. With little or no effort. I know for the people that don't understand or where these kind of scripts have come from, they've come from people in our industry and mostly from our consulting practice where these things have been tested, time tested and tested by the market. Like we've tested it like over 15, 20 years ago, and we went to market and tested what patients responded to the most, what language, and even the booking process the morning or afternoon. You said you couldn't believe how much that changed things when we implemented it because this has been tested by the market already. So I don't want to reinvent the wheel. We took that and we gave it into that AI so that AI can have very similar conversations to what's been working in offices for the last 20 years. There's
Well,
over, yeah. So
and it
go ahead.
eliminates the learning curve for the admin person too. This frees them up. They don't have to memorize scripts. They don't have to learn anything. It just
Yeah.
steps in and is a very smooth process. I don't think anybody watching this is going to have a busier clinic than yours. And you've got a lot of new patients coming in. You've got a lot of existing patients coming in. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the reservations you had was blocking off times for the new patients in your calendar to be scheduled.
So when we're setting up this AI, I said, I can't give you new patient times because they're mostly full. So you
Mhm.
want Tuesdays at 10 o'clock? I could give that time to you, but there's no way I could tell the patient that would work. So I was reserved about that. But what I learned was Carla was doing that anyway. Dr. Carla, my wife, who on the weekend would manage to go high level because we don't want our staff doing that after hours. But she managed it and she was doing it herself because we really didn't have our schedule from home. It's a closed electronic health record system. So she'd already give them kind of the proposed times where she knew they were probably full already, but at least you conversed with them and got them to, okay, would Wednesday at noon work? And they'd say, yes, okay, I'm going to get to the office on Monday and confirm. So she was already doing that. So that was my, okay, if we're already doing that and she's a human and she can't get to that lead fast enough, what if we just turn the AI to do that, get them to say, okay, yes to 12 o'clock, but then go to our schedule and say, okay, we don't have 12 o'clock this Wednesday, we have 12 o'clock next Wednesday, or we have 12:30. And I think that's where it changed for me is let's give them something that works. And then when the staff comes reach out to confirm, the staff might have to tweak them a half an hour or shift them to another day. So I guess what I'm saying is to give up a little bit of a perfection, we're going to increase our booking chances, right? A staff member is going to reach out to confirm that. Now a staff member has to reach out and confirm that, right? I'm assuming right now that's the way that it is.
And that is what we want
Okay,
people to do. Yeah, just to
so
be clear.
that's right. So in the end, the person has to confirm that. Once it's confirmed, now the patient kind of, it's almost like I think of driving a Tesla. It got you most of the way. Now you're entering the city and you're just, okay, thank you. I'm just going to take this over to park this thing, right? And you're finishing your journey. The staff comes in, okay, we're confirming 12:30 on Friday. Now we're going to send you the paperwork out and you'll get a reminder Thursday night. If you're not having any human conversation, and the AI booked it, you're not paying it, yeah, you might have a no-show. But if you now have the staff take over and say, we're super excited, we're going to be sending your paperwork out to you, and Dr. So-and-so will keep an eye on it, we'll be prepped for you Friday. If you get no response, that might mean that this person hasn't, even though they've said yes, they haven't really confirmed in their own brain or their own mind. So we like to get that paperwork, electronic paperwork back. And by them doing that in our clinic, that makes the show rate like 96%. So if they don't send the paperwork, we send them a human reminder, say, hey, you haven't done the paperwork. If this is not completed before Friday, we're going to assume that this appointment will be given to someone else. Like if you cancel this appointment, right? But if they give us the paperwork back electronically and the reminder goes out Thursday night, if you guys do reminders, our show rate in our clinic is 95 or 96%.